And campus crisis. Tensions escalate at Columbia University as pro-Palestinian encampments spread to other campuses, including NYU. Thank you for joining us at 7 o'clock. I'm David Ushery. Out of an abundance of caution today, Columbia University ordered its classes to go virtual. And at NYU right now, demonstrators are holding their ground despite being given a deadline to disperse hours ago. We've got team coverage at this hour from both universities. We'll begin with News 4's Chris Jose, who's in Greenwich Village, where police may be called in to clear the encampment there. What's the latest, Chris?
Right, David. Right now, there is a large NYPD presence in and around the NYU campus. Worth noting, though, David, this protest has remained peaceful. Let me step out of the way and just give you a live look at what's happening right now here along West 4th Street. This is Gold Plaza. I can tell you this crowd has only gotten bigger in the last hour. Late this afternoon, organizers called on other pro-Palestinian demonstrators to join the rally to protect an encampment set up by NYU students. Here's a live look right now from Chopper 4. You can see there the rally, also the tents set up around campus. NYU this afternoon set a 4 p.m. deadline for protesters to clear the scene, but very few people are following those orders. NYU says barriers have been breached, violating safety requirements. University officials adding, we witnessed disorderly, disruptive, and antagonizing behavior that has interfered with the safety and security of our community. In the last 2 hours, NYPD increased its presence around NYU. Transport vans now staged in case there are arrests. NYU set that 4 p.m. deadline with a warning. If you leave now, no one will face consequences for today's actions. No discipline, no police. NYPD again on the scene watching the situation, but so far officers not making any moves to clear the plaza. The majority of the people here protesting the war in Gaza.
We're young, we're in college, we have the ability and we're being educated on all of these things. This is the time that we have to act. Saying that something's wrong or objecting to it in hindsight isn't enough.
It's important for me to stand up for Israel, to stand up for Jewish students.
NYU says this protest tonight, not a university-sanctioned event. Again, NYPD right now on the scene. There's a large presence in and around the NYU campus, but so far, again, this protest has remained peaceful. We're live on the campus of NYU. Chris Jose, News 4 New York.
All right, Chris, thank you for that status check. Let's come uptown now. News 4's Jessica Cunnington picking up our coverage. She's in Morningside Heights. Security has been heightened outside Columbia. Jessica.
And it has been for days, David. It has been intense in and around Columbia's campus for days, as we've been reporting on. And new tonight, we know there are calls and strong calls from the House GOP lawmakers for Columbia's president to step down. As you mentioned, all classes going virtual today. And President Manu Shafiq said that what is happening right now is a crisis. And in an attempt to de-escalate, that's why she made her decision to do that. And leading up to this and to Passover tonight, there were some Jewish students who packed up and left because they did not feel safe here anymore. A university rabbi urging students to leave after there were reports of incidents around Columbia that Mayor Eric Adams and others identified as harassment, intimidation, and anti-Semitic. The NYPD continues to have a strong presence outside of campus here. Officers have now created safe walking corridors for any student who feels uneasy walking around off campus. But that's as far as officers can go to support the situation here, since Columbia is private property, except for if there is a crime in progress or if a crime is reported. Then they're going to respond just as they would anywhere else across the 5 boroughs. Now, an encampment has been growing on campus since Friday, with dozens of pro-Palestinian demonstrators who have pretty much made it their home. There's food, there's tents, as you could see, art classes, sleeping bags. Today, there was a large faculty walkout on campus to rally in support of those students. The university says there have been individuals who are not affiliated with Columbia that have come to campus to pursue, quote, their own agendas during this time of extreme tension.
We believe that we're very clear in our community guidelines. There is no room for hate here. This is simply a peaceful protest in solidarity with Gaza, making divestment demands from the university.
There's been a lot of people off campus on Broadway who are not Columbia students who have had some pretty extreme rhetoric.
Jewish students right now heading to several Passover Seders that are being held at different institutions and locations around campus. Again, those NYPD safe walking corridors are set up for those students and anyone else who wants to feel safer as they're walking around outside of campus. A strong NYPD presence. The drones are up in the air as protests continue around the clock outside the gates here at Columbia. Live in Morningside Heights, I'm Jessica Cunnington.